Did you know that only 4% of candidates get job offers from applying online? Well, that means that 96% of people have found other ways to get their foot in the door. Well, friends, today I'm spilling the tea on how you can flip the script and have employers chasing you without applying. Just a quick note, I've landed jobs at Meta, Google, and Samsung using the strategies I'm going to share today. So trust me, I know a thing or two about getting through the door. Let's get into it. Strategy number 1, network like a maestro. Now, before you tell me I don't have a big network, don't worry. I'm going to share a 3-part framework that I've used over the years to get into my dream job. It is the hot network, the cold network, and the warm network. Now, hot network, these are the folks you directly know. You worked with them in the past, you've gone to school with them, and they know just how amazing you are. They have that existing relationship with you, so they wouldn't mind vouching for you and submitting you as a referral. So stop and think about it. A referral goes a long way in reducing the risk for a hiring manager. See, this is a great way to filter out some of the noise. So if you have a hot lead, a friend who works at an organization you want to be at, do not be afraid to reach out to them directly to get that foot in the door. And I'll give you some tips on exactly what that conversation should sound like in just a moment. The second track is the warm network. Have you ever heard of that saying, a friend of a friend is my friend? Well, you probably have it because I just made that up. So that's what we're talking about here, tapping into mutual friendships to get your foot in the door. So imagine you found a company that you're super excited to work at, but you don't know anyone there. But it turns out that your friend Sally's sister Betty works at this dream company. Let's call it Disneyland. You need to reach out to Sally and ask her to make that intro so you can learn about the company's culture, their vision, and if the role and team is actually a right fit for you. So you talk to Betty, make a great impression, and Betty makes a referral. Your resume now is on top of the pile. You're welcome. Here's a pro tip. If Betty doesn't proactively offer to make an intro to other folks in the organization or submit that referral on your behalf, here's a non-threatening way to ask for it. Something like, hey, are referrals pretty important at your organization in getting the interview? Duh, the obvious answer is yes. But now you're providing a bridge to having that conversation. Assuming you made an incredible impression, then you can say something like, after talking to you, I'm incredibly excited about this company and this role. I think I might be a perfect fit based off my experience and background. Would you be open to submitting a referral for me so I don't get lost in that application black hole? See, you aren't just a person on paper anymore. You are now a real person to Betty, and you have higher than a 50% chance that they'll say yes, which is much higher than if you wouldn't have had this conversation. Now on to the cold network. Whew. I had to grab a jacket for this part. Cold networking is not for the faint of heart. But see, I've seen this work for one of my closest friends just last week. So you may not know this person and you may not have a mutual friend, but the key to unlocking the cold lead is affinity. See, affinity is finding something you have in common with this person. Maybe you go to the same church, you've gone to the same college, maybe you're both parents. Hey, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, tap into that shared life experience and make the connection. Then ask for something small, like 15 minutes of their time to learn more about the organization. Now, friends, the honest truth is this method may be a numbers game. You may have to reach out to 10 people to get one person on the phone, but it'll be worth it if that one call leads you to landing that job. Pro tip, you should track all the companies and people you're reaching out to in an organized spreadsheet. It doesn't have to be fancy, but you need to have a place to capture your notes from the conversation so you can make sure that you follow up in a timely fashion and you don't drop the ball. Now we're on to strategy number 2, mastering the LinkedIn post. Now, social media can be somewhere where you aimlessly scroll all day, but it can also be a gold mine. See, when I got laid off from Meta, I was debating whether to make a post on LinkedIn or not. If I'm honest, it was a really humbling experience to type out and share with the world that Meta didn't want me anymore. It was like telling everyone that I got dumped. So even though I explained that the whole team from the VP to the folks who were reporting to me got laid off, it still felt like a punch in the stomach. But I stayed focused on my objective, which was finding another job. And at the end of the post, I asked if anyone knew of any leads for product marketing leadership roles. And if so, would they be open to making introductions and sending those roles my way? Y'all, I had 40 people reach out to me offering to talk about roles in their organizations that were open, offering to make intros, and offering to submit referrals. And in 1 month after getting laid off, I landed a senior director role at Samsung from a former colleague I worked with in the past who saw the post and remembered my quality of work from 10 years ago. Pro tip: if you're gonna go this route, be strategic about the first line in this LinkedIn post. Because if it doesn't grab folks' attention, they will continue scrolling and you'll miss that critical opportunity. For inspiration, go to LinkedIn, type in #layoff, and look at other folks' posts that have gotten a lot of likes and see what they're doing and use that as inspiration to help you write your post. Strategy number 3, build authority on social media. So let's stick with this social media thread for just a moment. You theoretically have more time on your hands because you don't have a job right now. So consider sharing thought leadership in your space. Think about the wins you've had in your career, the failures, and the lessons you've learned along the way. Don't just tell people, show them. Instead of just listing skills on your resume, you're demonstrating them by sharing your portfolio, case studies, or even a blog about your experience. Let the work speak louder than words, my friends. Strategy number 4, optimize your LinkedIn. My husband has figured this out. He has recruiters reaching out to him all the time, and it's because he's optimized his LinkedIn with keywords that employers are looking for. He makes sure he has the right role, expertise, and skill sets. When people type in HRBP or acronyms that are specific to his industry, he comes up. I also suggest turning on your open to work setting privately so recruiters know that you're looking. Strategy number 5, attend industry events. So make sure you're going to conferences where recruiting is part of the experience. There are a lot of conferences now that are focused on getting women in tech or people in color in healthcare and so on and so on. Find the conference for you. Now, when you do so, make sure you have a strategy to maximize your time there. Here are a couple of pro tips. Show up early before the crowd gets there so you can have quality time with recruiters and build that relationship. You can tell them about your background, your experience, why you're passionate about their organization. And a way you can't do, there's like 10 other people in the circle around you, right? So get there early. If possible, schedule one-on-one time with the recruiter before going. Attend happy hours with fellow job hunters and recruiters. This is where a lot of information sharing will take place. And any leads that may not have been on your radar, this is a great spot. And the reality is, you probably won't have time to talk to everyone. So bring printed resumes so you can drop it in the submission pile or submit it online digitally. And that way the recruiter has the ability to follow up with you, which is their target audience for a specific role. It might cost you money to take that flight, to book the Airbnb, and to buy the conference ticket. But if you pick the right conference and actually deploy these strategies, it can be a game changer for you. I have a friend who took a leap when her savings was running low and executed the pro tips above and got not 1, but 2 job offers coming out of that conference. So for her, that was a great investment. Not sure if you know this, but I've been over 150 job interviews over my career. So if you like this video, you're gonna love this video that walks you through the top 10 mistakes I see folks making in their job interviews and how to avoid them. You are brilliant and you got this. I'll see you in the next video.